Welcome to
Nay.
Do it.
Channel Everyone. This is episode 2020-60321. Okay, so today we are diving into a topic that feels like it is straight out of a sci-fi courtroom drama, but it is very real: artificial intelligence and judges. The idea of algorithms helping to decide who gets bail, or how long a sentence should be. JJ, from your perspective at the frontier of AI, is this even a good idea? Are the machines ready to step into the courtroom?
That is an excellent starting question, Isabel. The short answer is, it is complicated. The tools we are talking about are not sentient judges. They are risk assessment instruments. Think of them less like a robot in a robe, and more like a very complex data-driven calculator. Their job is to process historical data, like someone's past offenses or age, and spit out a statistical probability. For example, a likelihood that this person will fail to appear in court if released before trial.
And that is where the first huge problem lives, that historical data. If you feed an algorithm biased data, which our criminal justice systems absolutely have, you get biased predictions. It is garbage in, garbage out. These tools can amplify existing racial and socioeconomic disparities, and then present them as objective mathematical facts. That is not science fiction. That is happening now.
Wow, okay. So the AI might be learning our worst habits. But JJ, you mentioned human judges have their own issues. Is that the trade-off? A potentially biased algorithm versus a definitely biased human?
Precisely. This is what makes the research so fascinating. Studies in psychology and economics show human judges are inconsistent. Their decisions can be influenced by the time of day, how hungry they are, even the outcome of a local sports game. This is called noise. An AI tool, for all its flaws, is consistent. It applies the same formula to every case. The debate becomes, do we want predictable bias or unpredictable noise?
But we cannot let the consistency argument be a free pass. A consistently unfair outcome is still unfair. The real question the research is asking now is not AI versus human, but what happens when you combine them? How does a judge actually use this algorithmic advice? Do they treat it as a godlike oracle, or just another piece of information?
That is such a good point. So what is the answer? Do judges just follow the algorithm's recommendation?
The empirical evidence so far is surprisingly modest. In many studies, the introduction of these risk scores has very little to no impact on the judge's final decision. It seems judges often override the algorithm or simply ignore it.
Which is its own kind of finding. It tells us that the human element, for better or worse, is incredibly sticky. Judges have intuition, experience, they look at the person in front of them. They might see mitigating factors the algorithm's data points miss entirely. Or they might just be distrustful of a black box telling them what to do.
So we have this strange standoff. The AI has issues, but so do humans. And when you put them together, they do not always play nice. Where does the research go from here? What do we need to figure out?
We need much more transparency. If a judge is going to use a tool, they need to understand its limitations. Not just a risk score, but why that score was generated. We also need to study the judges themselves. How does their background, their age, their level of tech savviness change how they interact with the AI?
Exactly. And from the technical side, we need continuous, rigorous auditing of these tools for fairness and accuracy. It cannot be a set-it-and-forget-it system. The most promising path forward is not replacement but collaboration, using AI to highlight patterns a human might miss, and using human judgment to provide the context and mercy the algorithm cannot. This requires true interdisciplinary work. Computer scientists, legal scholars, and psychologists all at the same table.
So the future is not man asterisk or machine. It is man with asterisk machine. But that relationship needs to be carefully designed, with eyes wide open to the pitfalls. Thank you both for such a nuanced and thoughtful conversation. This is definitely a topic we will need to revisit.
Thank you, Isabel.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching. We will see you in the next episode.